What exactly is the Upside Down? What is Vecna's final plan? Is the Mind Flayer really the ultimate villain behind everything? Will Eleven sacrifice herself? In this video, we're going to answer all these questions and break down in detail the big ending of Volume 2, connecting clues from the series, statements from the creators, hidden references, and theories that make complete sense for the definitive conclusion of Stranger Things. Volume 2 delivered important answers, but it also left massive questions in the air. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about now. So get ready, because the explanation starts right now. To be completely honest, Volume 2 ends with that feeling that it could have gone further. Episode 5 was excellent, with a huge highlight on the scene where Will enters Vecna's mind to try to save Max and Holly. Easily one of the best moments of the season, along with Episode 4. Episode 6 works well and has emotional moments, like the conversation between Max and Holly, but it suffers from a lack of urgency, especially in the scene where they calmly walk toward the portal. That weakens the tension. Episode 7, despite answering many important questions, ends up being the weakest of the volume, with a final cliffhanger that feels a bit underwhelming. Still, it lays the essential groundwork for the series finale. Before we continue, make sure to like the video to support the content, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. We'll still have more in-depth videos about the series, and after the final episode is released, we'll have a video to properly close out this amazing show. All of this is coming, and you definitely don't want to miss it. What is the Upside Down? Definitive explanation. At last, we have the answer. The Upside Down is a bridge between the abyss, also known as Dimension X, and our world. Dimension X and the abyss are the same place, just different names for the same realm. This is where Henry Creel ended up as a child, where he was possessed by the Mind Flayer, and where he slowly became Vecna. It's also the same place Eleven banished him to in 1979. The bridge between worlds only appeared in 1983, when Eleven touched the Demogorgon in the first season, creating an unstable connection between dimensions. This bridge mirrored Hawkins and gave birth to the Upside Down as we know it. Exotic matter and the stability of the bridge. This bridge is sustained by exotic matter, represented by the massive red energy sphere located beneath the Hawkins lab. According to Dustin, this matter keeps the walls of the Upside Down standing, preventing everything from being pulled into the void, like what happened to Steve's car. If that sphere explodes, the bridge between the worlds will cease to exist, permanently separating the abyss from our world. This means that even if the Mind Flayer continues to exist, it would no longer have access to our reality. The real destroyer, the Mind Flayer. Volume 2 confirms something essential. The true final villain is the Mind Flayer. Vecna, or Henry Creel, is just a general, an extremely powerful instrument. He indirectly confirms this by saying that powerful monsters serve a dark entity that corrupts, pulls beings away from the light, and throws them into darkness. That entity is the Mind Flayer. The same particles that once inhabited Will, the Demogorgon, and Holly have been inside Henry for much longer, which explains his near-total corruption. Even if Vecna is defeated, the danger does not end there. Henry Creel's past and the suitcase. The cave flashback directly connects to the play. Stranger Things. The first shadow. The scientist was a Soviet infiltrator involved in a secret project. Henry at first was not an evil person, but he already showed clear signs of instability. When he continues attacking the scientist even after knocking him unconscious, it becomes clear that something was already wrong. The most likely theory is that the suitcase contained a scientific device capable of transporting someone to the abyss. Henry opens the suitcase, is transported, disappears for 12 hours, is possessed by the Mind Flayer, and returns completely changed. Redemption, sacrifice, and the end. Much like in Return of the Jedi, everything points to Henry having a redemption arc. Vecna ceases to exist, Henry returns, and sacrifices himself to defeat the Mind Flayer, or at the very least, to permanently sever the bridge between the worlds. Even if the Mind Flayer continues to exist, it will be isolated. The group's plan is simple: Wait for the abyss to get close, invade it, rescue the children, defeat Vecna, and destroy the exotic matter. Simple, straightforward, and effective. Exactly what the series needed at this final moment. 11. Kaylee and MKUltra. The military remains a threat. They want to recreate MKUltra using 11's blood. Kaylee raises an important point. 11 will never have peace as long as she is useful. However, whenever a story says this is the only way, it usually means it isn't. The strongest theory is that Kaylee uses her illusions to fake 11's death, deceiving the military and the entire world. With that, the project would be abandoned, and 11 could live in hiding until things finally settle down. Relationships and closures. Nancy and Jonathan break up, not because they stopped loving each other, but because they are no longer in sync. Nancy also makes it clear that she won't end up with Steve. All three finish the series single, each in a different phase of self-discovery. The scene may feel long, but it's mature and necessary. Another important detail is the behavior of the liquid exotic matter, which drips, hardens, and may play a key role in the final episode, possibly preventing the military from entering or escaping the Upside Down. Final episode, runtime, and expectations. The final episode will be 2 hours and 8 minutes long, with around 40 minutes dedicated to the epilogue. That's more than enough time to wrap up the story properly, as long as there's no unnecessary padding. The creators guarantee that all remaining questions will be answered, that the ending won't be shocking or frustrating, and that Stranger Things is not Game of Thrones. Something inevitable will happen, but it will be satisfying. Everything points to Henry dying, 11 surviving, and the story being fully concluded, with no direct setup for the spinoff. Stranger Things is ending. For real. The story that began in 2016 is now reaching its conclusion, with a clearly defined beginning, middle, and end. The spinoff will be a completely different story, with new characters in a new decade. I remain optimistic about the ending, even acknowledging that this season could have been more concise. Now I want to hear from you. What are your expectations for the final episode? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.